So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry that I guess I still have to keep you guys hungry because I'm going to talk about food again. And this time I'll be talking about the food, which is the high tea. But not just high tea, but the high tea of our Hong Kong one, our Hong Kong's one. And today I'd like to focus our topic on the globalization of Hong Kong culture. I mean, globalization of high tea culture in Hong Kong. So I briefly talk about the flow first, and the flow will be, I'll firstly talk about the historical background of the high tea culture, and then I'll talk about Hong Kong glocalized high tea, followed with the reason contributed to globalization of high tea culture, and end up with a conclusion. So let me bring you guys to the historical afternoon culture first. So actually, the high tea culture was established in the United Kingdom by a woman called Anna Russell, and she was actually a noble, the second Duchess of Bedford. And once, as she was very hungry in the afternoon, because there was only 2 meals at that time, they have the mid-morning one and the dinner's one. So she has been thinking about, oh, what can I eat along that time? So she found out some light snacks in the pot of tea to fill her stomach. And that's why she found out, oh, this is a good idea. So she invited her friends to join her these events finally become a very popular social event at the time. And then this concept has also been spread out over the world and has been spread out to Hong Kong during the British colonial period. And so I guess you guys may also wonder, what has a traditional British high tea serves us? So I think you can check out with these 3 type plates. And this is actually a British traditional high tea one. And the way we eat should from the bottom to the top. And what we'll eat, we firstly eat the first course, which are some tea sandwiches and some finger sandwiches. And after eating this, we have to move forward. We have to eat the second courses, which are some scones, English scones with some jam and cream. And after finishing this, we have to move even forward. And finally, we'll get the pastries and some desserts as well. So after introducing the traditional high tea food for you guys, now it's time for us to talk about the Hong Kong's one. So do you have any idea about the Hong Kong's high tea? As Hong Kong is actually a very international city, so what do you think we can have in this city? So let me tell you. The first one, okay, this is, okay, I mean the next page, thank you so much. And this is Hong Kong side, I mean, this is a very prestigious afternoon tea set venue that many people in Hong Kong would go for, and they're so crazy with this. And it's actually, okay, let me just focus on food first. We see the food here, it's actually slightly different from the British one, because what we found are no longer some scones or some pastries, but what we can find is some fusion of some Western style food, like the mini burgers, some carrot cakes, and some pastries as well. And let us not focus on the food, because I know it's going to drive you hungry. Let us focus what people do during the time, that afternoon tea time. So have you ever tried this out? Have you ever tried to take a selfie, take some pictures and post it to the Instagram account? Have you ever tried this? And I'm going to tell you, this is a very special phenomenon happening in Hong Kong, that people, they go for afternoon tea not only for the food, but they are very especially, they'll take a lot of pictures, and they'll ask them, well, hey, just let's take a selfie for the food. You see the view, we can't miss it. Okay, they will just focus on taking pictures, on photo takings, on some chit chat. Most people, they will go with their fellows, with their friends and family to chit chat, but they most likely do just forget about the food. And this is a very glocalized phenomenon, only happen in Hong Kong. So after introducing this restaurant, I would like to move forward to another one. So the next one, please. And this is a very special one, which is a Chinese high tea set offered by the hotel icon. And this is a Chinese dim sum afternoon tea. Have you guys ever tried this before? Is there any dim sum fan right here? If yes, I think you have to go for a try. Because why? Because I see the food is going to be very delicious and place it with a brand style right here. And we see there are some, we are still influenced by the British culture as well, because we still have a stand, but we have changed it to a 2 stand instead of 3-tier stand. But the food inside, because in this picture we still see a shape of British culture, but the content was changed. Why? Because the food we have already changed in our Chinese one. We have our dim sums one, like what the food inside with some pork dumplings, some mushroom or some baked livers, together with some raspberry cheese ball, and so on and so forth. So I think this is a very special thing. We only can find it in Hong Kong to better cater to most of the local Chinese preference. Apart from this, what's next? As a very international city in Hong Kong, where people have different status, different background, and different preference, I think it's time for me to get more diversified. I mean, to be more diversified, and I will introduce this to you as well. This is the high tea set offered by the Royal Garden Hotel, and this is actually a Southeast Asian food with a Vietnamese food, and the foods we see offered some spring rolls, some sugarcane prawns, rice paper roll, but we also see some British culture inside, because they still use a 3-tier stand, but somehow they have changed the shape. And but the food we see basically based on the Vietnamese style. And you know, this is a very popular restaurant in Hong Kong as well, because a lot of people will go there. And I figured out one very interesting phenomenon, that these restaurants will not allow for reservation. That means people, if you want to go there, you have to queue. And you have to line up right there, because it's very popular. Because I tried once, and I had to wait almost like more than 1 hour. And these symbolize that Hong Kong, they already have a line up culture of taking the high tea. That a lot of people are willing to take the queue, and the queue there for more than 1 or more than 1 hour, that they will like to enjoy the food. So, after talking about these, I would like to move to another topic to talk about the reasons contributed to the glocalization of high tea, and there are a few reasons. So, firstly, I would like to talk about the historical background. Since Hong Kong was actually a British colony in the 1898, that China got defeated in the Opium War. So Hong Kong was leased to Britain for like 9 years. And at that time, a lot of British culture was imported to Hong Kong by the British at that time. So this kind of afternoon culture from Britain has actually imported to Hong Kong, and that's why we still can find a lot of high tea culture. People talk about high tea at this time. Apart from this, I would like to talk about the market problem. So why I like to talk about the market problem is that Hong Kong actually, people focus on the marketization. The reason why Hong Kong is actually an international city, that people will have a lot of different status, background, and preferences, and to better cater to the people preferences, the marketer and the producers, they have to think about a new idea. They have to think something. Oh, how can I think about new to grab your attentions, to try my stuff, so that they have to change. They have to be more creative and innovative, so that they can have the chance to attract more and more customers to our restaurant, so that we can find a lot of different kind of style, like the Vietnamese style, the dim sum style, and some Western styles as well. So apart from this, there another reason. I'm not finished. Okay, thank you. And this is the technological advancement. nowadays, a lot of people can get the information of some promotions from online, from the internet, so that it makes the competition even more keen. That's why they have to be creative and innovative. Last but not least, I'd like to talk about the socialization problem. So what is that? What that is? Okay, the socialization. Okay, because actually nowadays, I'd like to ask you guys questions like, do you guys go high tea alone? Will you just enjoy the fancy moment by yourself? Will you? I guess most of you will answer no, and so did most of the Hong Kong people. Because why? Because most of the Hong Kong people go there just simply, they will not focus on the food, but they focus on the gathering and the communication. Most of the Hong Kong people, they go for the high tea. They will like ask many of the friends to come with them, and then they will just go there to chit chat with their friends. Maybe they will talk about a very gossip issue about, oh, that girl or that boy, what happened with that, and they will focus on photo taking part as well, because they would like to capture that moment and send it online to their friends. And this is actually a symbolic of a good living style, and they really want to have a show to their friend that they have a living attitude, and they enjoy this kind of prestigious things that I definitely have to share. That's why Hong Kong nowadays have more and more high-tech set placed beautifully and elegantly to better suit their preference on these kind of consumption. So, to conclude, I see that Hong Kong actually apparently has their own glocalized afternoon tea culture, high tea culture, that we have more and more choices, and then we also created our own culture that we have to line it for it, and a lot of people line it for it, and we do photo taking and some selfies as well. However, most of us have probably these are very important British culture, which is the sense of sharing and caring. And what is that? Actually, the traditional British culture, the high tea culture, was set in a three-tier stand, and people will share the food right there with a lot of people there, and they have a pot of tea. They will share with each other. They will offer each other food and drinks. However, in Hong Kong, the afternoon tea and the high tea we found, the food we found, the amount we found is actually equally the same of each other's. We don't really have to share with each other's. We have our own tea, we have our own amount of food, and everyone could be equally the same. We don't have to share. And and we also shift our attention to the photo taking part, to a lot of unnecessary activities, like we focus on the selfie, we focus on gossiping. But I really want to suggest to you guys, whenever you go for an afternoon tea next time, try not to focus on these unnecessary activities. But what you have to do is to focus on the people you are with, to offering to show that you are going to share with them, you care of them. For instance, you can ask your mom or ask your friend that, oh, would you like to have some more scones? I have one, do you want to share with me? Or do you want some more tea as well? And I think if you really do this, it adds meaning not only to the glocalization of Hong Kong tea culture, but also to your own life. Thank you so much.